It's got really everything you fucking need for it.
Oh shit, for real? God damn.
Yeah.
How much was that?
5,000.
Woohoo! Baby boy!
I didn't even pay for it. I told you, right? I did that Cadillac paint job.
Yeah.
It's a fucking, like, slab. It's a 74, 75 Cadillac Eldorado. Chop top, lime green, or like Granny Smith apple green with fucking crazy, like, flake in it and shit. Dude had like 6 subs all on the fucking back ring of it. Fucking gorilla pokers on it. It was a fucking $8,000 paint job. He gave me the camera and like 4,500 cash.
How'd you get into that?
Painting?
Yeah, painting cars.
Prison. To be honest, bro.
Just like with any trade nowadays, you learn in prison,
bro. For real. Cops, certain cop cars, like, they come in and they need, like, the decals removed before they go to auto auctions or anything like that, or would fucking restripe cars, do those things, and then I got out, and of course, I mean, fucking, dude, the whole car industry is just full of fucking convicts in some sort of way or fashion. It doesn't matter if you fix cars, you sell cars, you like deal with insurance with cars, you're a crook.
Just anything around cars.
Yeah, oh, 100%.
You might be a convict.
Yeah.
That sounds like a fucking...
Background checks are very limited when it comes to that shit.
That sounds like a Jeff Foxworthy joke. You might be a convict if you work on cars.
If you a bodyguard, you probably got a felony. That's fucking hilarious, bro. Oh man, that's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
I had some kind of like a Jeff Foxworthy joke, and I was worried about telling it. I can't even remember what the fucking joke is right now, but I was worried about telling it like that because it is in like Jeff Foxworthy's formula. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You might be like kind of thing. You know that's his shit. He did it, but I heard him talking about it, and it's like it's not plagiarism or anything like that because he just came up with the formula. Now how you use the formula is up to you. You know what I'm saying?
As long as you're not doing it on stage.
No. Well, no. As long as you don't take his joke verbatim.
Yeah,
so
as long as you're not doing the same exact wordage. Yeah, you should be good.
Yeah.
Because like the thing about jokes and everything's already been said.
For sure.
Everything under the sun is already been said. All we're doing is remixing everything now.
True.
Just switching words up, switching where it goes. It's just all we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hardest part about comedy nowadays. Because you have to come up with something new and original. But how can you be original if everything's already been done?
True. Well, I mean, it might have already all been said, but in like the exact wording, phrasing, is different.
I think that's if you look at most comics like from back in the day to now, if you look at their set, it's the same type of topics, the same ideas, the same premises, but it's just different punchlines.
Yeah.
And it's not the same exact wording, but if you go deep down inside and you break it open, it's the same thing.
Fuck yeah, 100%. I realized the joke that I do is somewhat similar to one of my heroes' jokes, but it's in no way like the same wording, same economy, same like cadence and delivery or whatnot. But it just, it seems like something that he could have done in the 80s,
But that's okay because like from a lot of comics that I talk to, we all have a sense of comedy from who we've seen. Like George Carlin and Dave Chappelle were the first 2 comics I ever got introduced to.
Okay.
So my comedy stems from trying to be very articulate and trying to be smart, but also trying to figure out a way to be funny at the same time. Because like sometimes I try to outsmart the audience, and it's fun for me, but it's not fun for the audience because they're too busy trying to figure it out instead of just getting the joke.
Yeah.
And that's the one problem. Like trimming the fat is very important, and making the punchline very succinct is an important thing too. Making it very simple.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I realized that when I was watching back some of my videos, I thought like what would be the punchline. People aren't actually laughing at. They're laughing at my setup premise beforehand, and it's either like you're saying like too much fat in that joke, so I gotta trim it down, or reverse the order of it. So that then the order of threes or whatever.
Rules
So
of three,
yeah, rules of three. So that funniest one is actually the last. It's not what I'm saying first.
The rules of three is different because it doesn't. Not everybody uses it all the time. Sure, it's like it can go with cadence too, like da da da,
Yeah.
da da da, or like with what you're saying exactly, like one joke, two joke, big joke at the end. There's so many different variations of it that you can't really just force yourself going like, oh, it has to be rules of three.
True.
You know?
Oh yeah, of course that makes sense.
I mean, the biggest thing for me is like, as long as you have something funny or something interesting to say, I think that's the most important thing. If it's not funny, it's got to be interesting.
True. If it's not interesting or funny, what the fuck are you doing?
Why are you doing it? If you're not interested,
who the fuck let you on stage? No.
No. But like, if you don't like what you're doing,
No.
if you don't like the joke or the subject matter or what pertains to it, why are you even telling it?
True.
Because I'm at the point right now where I've told some of my jokes so many times that I'm getting tired of it. So I'm trying to figure out a way now to make it fresh for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, the jokes work, they pop almost every time, but I'm getting bored of telling it. Because I say it the same way every time. And I already have a cadence of how the joke is supposed to go. And I'm just trying to break that chain just to make it fun for me.
Yeah, so it doesn't become too like routine.
Yeah, well, it is a routine.
It is a routine, but Jesus Christ, you
It
like
gets
saying that shit in your sleep.
repetitive.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
We see comedy. We see those comics that are doing the same fucking jokes they've been doing pre-COVID, like 5-6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? You're like, damn, bro, this is exactly the same fucking set.
I'm gonna be honest.
We've been doing it for almost a decade.
That scares the crap out of me.
It does.
It's scary. Like, for me to be in comedy for the next, like, 3 years and still doing the same set over and over and over again.
I didn't really think about it until like that. You just scared me.
Shit, like, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Write a new joke. Do something different. Or quit.
You be telling the same shitty band jokes over and over again.
But that's okay, because, like, I think it's up to, like, 2 years. After 2 years, that's when it starts getting, like, really stale and repetitive from you. Because
you are known for that act.
For certain jokes. Everybody sees you like, oh, I know exactly what they're going to do. Because, I'm going to be honest, there are some comics that go on stage and I mouth off their set word for word.
Oh, yeah.
I do that all the time. And I even go, like, when they go to the punchline, I'm like, ah! And then, boom, punchline hits.
Yeah.
They all laugh, and I'm like, I already know what the fuck you're going to do.
That's so fucking crazy. I don't want to be that person. You're right. I don't want to. I don't think I even can be, because none of my sets I have ever fucking done have been the exact same. Like, none of them. I've never said a joke, the exact same way. Never.
I get comfortable. I get comfortable sometimes. Sometimes I get to a point where I'll tell a joke, and then once it hits like 3 or 4 times, or 3 to 5 times, and I say it the same way, and it hits every time, I get stuck in that cadence. I get stuck saying that word. Even the words that I use are the same every time. It's like I'm reading a script or reading off of my notebook, and that gets boring too. So what I did after that is I started trying to be more natural. Just act like I'm talking to you instead of reading to you.
For sure. Yeah. I'm just now starting to, I guess, develop that skill you're talking about doing, especially like on stage in that moment.
It's being able to hide the joke.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Hide the punchline.
Yeah.
You know, that's the hardest thing, just getting on stage and making it seem like you're just talking.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's so many jokes that I think of throughout the day that I also have to think about what setting can I throw this in. Because not all the jokes that I say on stage are jokes that I have done or wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like, I told a couple of jokes the other day to my coworkers. But those are jokes that I wrote beforehand, and I was like, how do I throw this in? Either to a conversation or on stage or podcast or whatever, you know? Because for me, it's no longer about, oh, I got to get on stage. I got to tell these jokes. It's like, oh, how can I just be funny?
True.
How can I be funny in every situation I'm in?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great fucking way to look at it. I've been looking at it like, how do I get these jokes to work together. Let's just say I got like my band jokes, my dating jokes, and then like topic C, whatever. How do I get them to blend well together with each other to like a somewhat cohesive set? How do I do that? Even though they're not all related,
They're so
like directly related to each other.
No, they're so separate from each other. There's a juxtaposition, and that's why it's funny. Because when you got a van and you're trying to date, it's really hard because all the women that are around you are children. You know, like what's one of those? No, like it's there's ways you can go about it.
Oh, of course.
But it is
Well,
really
what
hard.
I'm saying is like I can't go from doing band jokes to dating jokes and then back to the fucking band
Do
jokes.
the dating stuff
Like,
first.
Dating stuff?
You just switch it around. If you did the band stuff first, and it gets really weird when you turn into dating, do the dating stuff first because they'll understand you. They know that you.
That's a good fucking point.
They'll start to like you. They'll understand you, and they'll see your point of view. Then once you got them, switch it around and you give them the weird stuff.
Yeah.
You're like, hey.
Instead of just opening up with the weird stuff and then trying to just survive and be somewhat relatable.
Which you can do.
Towards the end.
You can do, but the jokes have to be solid.
Yeah.
The jokes have to be really good for you to be able to carry on that weird personality throughout the set.
Every beat.
Every beat, because they have to believe this shit.
Yeah.
They have to believe whatever you're telling them. But
I mean, which I think that I am pretty believable on stage versus some other people. That like, you can tell that when they're saying this shit, it's like, okay, you just thought that was funny. It's you don't live that life. That's not you. You know what I mean? You don't actually think like that. So I think whatever I do say, it does come across as, you know, oh, dude, this dude did it that fucking crazy. You know, like that's just that weird. You know what I mean?
So then there's another thing that I've seen. You just hit the nail on the head on that. Some people are too believable.
Yes.
Some people tell some jokes and I'm like, oh yeah, he really did that shit.
Yeah.
Like somebody's talking about rape and you're just like, somebody call the cops.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's too close, but
that's too specific, right there.
Man.
You got a date and time.
You come with an alibi? Damn, bro.
You get on stage, it's like, okay, this was on Thursday, May 26th. Immediately.
It happened, I swear, I was across town. There's video of me at a donut shop.
You gotta know that beforehand, okay, before I tell this story. Okay.
And see, that's the thing.
So I was following this
like,
girl, right?
Why is it when women can talk about stalking and everything's okay and everybody laughs, but the moment I fucking do it, it's creepy all of a sudden? Oh, Jesus, I was just checking up on you, trying to make sure you're okay.
Why are you throwing me in your van?
Happy April Fool's Day. Just kidding.
You're about to be like, psych!
The only time I pick up women is April the 1st. Get the bed. Oh my god. I'm just kidding, April Fools. Have a good day. No, that's fucking wild though. Man, I don't know. I do have the idea, it's probably a fucked up idea, but that I have to water my material down because I don't think that the audience will take it at face value straight
So
up.
that's, okay. Now, what you're doing at that moment is you're letting the audience dictate how you go about your set.
Yeah.
You don't think that way. Okay, so the biggest problem with comics is that they either start doing that or they'll be like, okay, I'll just do what they like.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't want to do
the whole point of stand-up is to be able to talk about what you want to talk about in a funny way to make people laugh. That goes with the writing. If you're a really good writer, you can make me laugh at rape jokes. If you can get me to laugh at rape jokes, I'm like, that guy's a good writer.
Okay. Yeah.
If you can get me to laugh at something that I don't want to laugh at or I've never thought about in a certain way, that's how you know you're a good writer.
That makes sense.
So don't think of it as like, oh, they're not laughing, they don't get this. You're not relating it to them in a way they can understand it.
That's a good fucking point.
Think about it from the audience's perspective. When they're watching you, when they're listening to you, what do you think they're thinking?
this dude's fucking crazy.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
What the fuck? What?
And
that's tremendous.
That's the biggest thing for me too. That I have to put the audience perspective in my mind too. Is like, are they gonna get this? Because the biggest problem in my life has been that I don't feel like I'm being understood whenever I talk to people. Ever since I was a kid, I've never been able to feel like people actually understand what I'm saying. But because I've started doing stand-up, I've gotten better at that. Getting my point across and saying what I really feel and how I really think. And that's just gonna take time, you know?
Yeah.
It takes time getting to find the right words to be able to give your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just comedy. You just have to keep doing it no matter what.
Makes sense.
Just have to keep working at it. And I know it's hard. I know some people are like, well, nothing's happening, haven't been on any shows. Are you working? Are you writing? What are you doing? Are you making content? What are you doing besides stand-up?
I personally know I need to fucking write more than I have been.
We all do, man.
But I've been trying to fucking figure out, like, actual, like, business mechanics of comedy and how to do this shit. So, like, I was making all that merch and fucking trying to figure out a venue to put on my own show and, like, starting to record shit for people and, like, you know, getting myself out there like that in the media limelight because...
That's good. That's really good. But also, what are you doing for you?
I'm not doing shit for myself really
so that's
too much.
That's
besides like making merch.
That's the big thing right there. You can keep doing all these things for other people, but at the end of the day, you're just doing that for them. You got to work on you, like putting on your own shows, working on your material, getting better on stage. Start thinking about that more, thinking about yourself, because the number one person in your life is you.
True.
Nobody's gonna, just because you're helping all these people, doesn't mean that they're gonna do the same for you later on.
Oh fuck no, I've already seen that shit.
So you gotta start working on your own things, you know? Which is like why you're recording right now. I love this. I love that you're doing this, because you're like thinking of new ways. It's like, hey, how can I put myself out there?
For sure, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a podcast for a while, like the fucking 2 years ago. No, well, I'm sorry, what? Like 4 years ago now. But we did it for 2 years almost, and it was like 80, 100 episodes, and then the shit just went to fucking shit. But nonetheless, like there's fucking hours of fucking conversations of just me and brothers on fucking YouTube. Like we're already out there and been doing that shit. And it's fucking weird, dude. So, like, I came in to comedy, like, somewhat famous. Like, already. Not, like, in the comedy scene, I'm not famous, but...
You had a following.
Yeah, already. Well, not even necessarily a following, but I've already rubbed elbows with so many, like, famous and influential people just through my fucking life of being a drug dealer and fucking hustle, like, my whole fucking hustle culture, painting cars... The tattoo life, like everything like that. You know, I've gotten to meet tons of fucking celebrities, gotten to smoke with them, sell them drugs, all kinds of fucking shit.
Okay, so after those experiences, like, how do you feel about that now?
Like now?
Yeah, now that everything's happened, that you've met so many people, now that you've done
I don't need anyone.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. I don't need anyone. And I don't want to take from anyone. Like, I'm trying to put as much out there as possible, and I want to help other people put their shit out there as well.
I mean, the biggest thing that I've heard is you have to be able to help yourself first before you can help other people.
True, which is why I need to do things like this and show people that, like, yo, I can record, like, whatever, and do whatever. Like,
I feel like you've done that, though. All the content that you put out, the videos, you making your merch and stuff like that, I just think that shows determination and like business savvy, you know. But here's the way I think about it. Like going on stage, telling jokes, that's the easy part. The business side, that's the hard part about comedy. Nobody ever talks about the business.
Dude, that's the opposite for me.
For you.
Yeah, well, because I'm coming into it as a businessman almost. You know, I'm looking at it as a business, and that's one thing that fucking pisses a lot of fucking comics off about me, and why I get labeled as a fucking hard to deal with, like, comedian, and I don't get booked at certain places.
Is that how it is, or is that your perception of it?
That's how it is, and then people either really like me for it or they fucking hate me for it. And if they hate me for it, it's probably because they're a shitty fucking comic. To be honest, I'm just being fucking real. Like, dude, 100%, like 100%, because everyone else respects that and appreciates it and knows that, like, yo, yes, we are here to have fun, but it's a fucking business, and you need to treat it like. At the end of the day, it is a business, and you need to treat it like that. And if not, get the fuck out of our way.
Okay, so going with your words, it's a business. Do you think the product that you're giving on stage is worth any money right now? Be honest.
A pay what you can scale, yeah.
So no.
Can I charge people? I don't know about that. But but in the business aspect of it, yes, I could potentially put the people in or put like all the people in position to put on a show to charge and actually do make money off of it and for everyone else. Am I the caliber of person to do it right now? No, but I can orchestrate everything and get it fucking done. 100%.
So behind the scenes, you can, okay, so say a $10 show.
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
You can run a $10 show.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Bro, I brought fucking 50 people for me for a fucking open mic.
So I just got to the point where I'm finally able to accept that maybe I am worth like $10 at least. I just started accepting that recently.
Okay.
Because I've done it for a minute and I've written so many jokes and I've hosted so many shows and I kind of know how to put everything together on stage. You know, how to keep a good show running.
Yeah.
I finally accepted that. But the hardest thing is, like, you see some of these comics out there, I would actually ask them to give me money for watching them, you know?
Some of them, for
Some of them,
sure.
it's so bad, I'm just like, you just wasted 5 minutes of my life, can I please get some money?
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it is, though. Like, it's a business, these audience people are consumers. The audience is a consumer.
Mm. I legitimately did not laugh at shit you said for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, you owe me some cash, bro.
Exactly, it feels like that sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.
So,
certain shows.
I also understand that.
Not including open mics. Including open mics. I'm talking about actual shows.
Actual shows, yeah.
Hey, what's happening, Mr. Jessica?
He's like, who's fucking in the bed?
Ain't nobody fucking in the bed. Macaroni noodles back there. What the hell happening?
Oh, but like, yeah, I do see this as a business, and I do accept that we have to give a good show. We have to make sure that it's worth the money.
Mm-hmm.
Because like the biggest thing for me is like sometimes I ask myself, should people pay for this?
Mm-hmm.
Is this worth whatever the show is? And I know like some people are like, yeah, whatever the booker says, whatever they're paying, you're worth that now. And it's like, nah, that's bullshit. That's just whatever the booker's charging.
I mean, ideally, I would think in a fucking perfect world, now like everybody should get $5-10 at least for a fucking show, an actual showcase show, not an open mic show. But like, you know what I mean? Like, you should get something for fucking traveling to the spot to do comedy. Are you worth that? I don't fucking know. I'm not the one to judge. But
you should get paid if you're doing a show.
Yeah, 100%.
You should get paid, even if it's like $5-10, whatever. You should get paid either way. But what I'm saying is, do people think it's worth it? That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Well,
do people think this show is worth the show that you have right now is worth $10?
I don't think any show that we do or whatever.
Nobody
should charge over $25-30 for.
No, not for the shows the caliber of shows that we've had here.
No.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. But there have been some shows that have been free, and I feel should have been like $10-15.
At least $10. At least.
They've been so good.
Bro.
They've been so good that people should have paid for it.
I mean, we packed this fucking bitch out, dude. Like 70, 80, fucking 90 people in this tiny ass fucking room. Like, yeah, dude. What the fuck? Why not? Should. Don't make it a pay what you can fucking system unless it is legitimately an open mic.
That's the name of the game, though.
I know, but that's also the company's perspective on it. That's not ours. You know, that's the company looking at it like that.
But that's exactly what we're talking about. A pay what you can show is asking people, do you think this deserves any money? And if so, just put it however much you think it deserves. Because I've seen some people put like $20, $50 inside of pay what you can, tip jar.
Yeah.
Some people would pay more at a pay what you can show if they think they got something worth whatever they gave.
Well, then that comes up to bookers. Actually putting on people who are worth a damn.
Exactly.
And
yes.
then those comics actually delivering.
That's the biggest thing. I mean, like with the caliber that Houston has, I feel like certain people that deserve to get booked don't.
And then I see certain people getting booked, and I'm like, man, I've seen you do way fucking better. Like, why do you not give a fuck on this show? You know what I'm saying?
That's another thing, yeah, because like it doesn't matter if it's like a free show or a paid show, or whatever. You gotta give it 100% every time.
Yeah.
You gotta act like you give a fuck sometimes. Like, I know it's really hard because everybody's dealing with their own life, problems and stuff like that. Of course. But you gotta be able to take those problems and leave them at the door.
100%.
That's the biggest thing.
Shouldn't be going up there and just fucking eating shit for fucking
this show. This is
15
just a
minutes.
shitty show. Fuck y'all. I don't want to be here. Like,
and I'm fucking weird when it comes to it, because like I always base my sets off of me. I don't ever talk about the fucking audience, because it's in my opinion, it's never the audience's fault. Sure, there might be a bad audience every once in a while that like, and what I mean by bad is that they're like not audible with their fucking laughs. Like they might be enjoying themselves and having a good time, but you're not gonna fucking hear it. You see the head bobs and they're like,
That's the thing that trips me out too. Like I've had some people come up to me after a show where I watch them while I'm on stage and they're not really laughing that hard. They're like, ha 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 ha. Then afterwards they come up, dude, that was so great. That was awesome, dude. You were hilarious. And I'm just like, but you didn't laugh though.
Yeah. Because other people weren't laughing.
Yeah.
So as soon as that like one person starts fucking laughing, then everybody else fucking
that big audible laugh, and then it starts like it's like a fire. You know, that lit the match. Boom, flames go up. Everything.
Oh Jesus.
And it's a crazy thing. Like the reason why I love live comedy so much is because you never know what's gonna happen.
Oh, fuck no, dude.
You never know what's going to happen, and that kind of is a surprise for me, and that's what I love the most. Because in my everyday life, I hate surprises.
Those surprises do shit.
I hate surprises, but when I'm on stage and like something's happening in front of me, I force myself to be in the moment, and that makes whatever's happening even better because I'm just like, I'm experiencing it while the audience is at the same time.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And that's a
dude.
crazy feeling, too.
So fucking crazy. Damn, when you were talking about that, I was thinking there's been a couple times where, like, comedy shows going on, and fucking everybody in the building gets a fucking Amber Alert, like the same fucking time.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking nuts, because you can't plan that kind of thing. But then, like, the comic that's on stage has the ability to do 5 minutes on just an Amber Alert, and it fucking hits.
Not the ability, they've already written jokes beforehand.
And maybe they haven't.
Sometimes, yeah, they do riff. Yeah, sometimes they do riff. I mean, but the way I do it is I write jokes beforehand, and I write it all on one topic, and I just keep going to see how many jokes I can do.
Yeah, but you can't plan a fucking Amber Alert while you're on stage.
You can't plan it, but if it happens, I already have them in my back pocket, and I can just throw them out, and they'll work in that situation because everybody's in on the joke.
Oh, of course, 100%.
You know?
100%.
That happens sometimes. When something happens, you're like, oh, I have a joke about that. Then you throw it out and it hits.
Yeah.
It's just about knowing timing. It's about timing.
Of course. Like Andrew filling this fucking place up with fog and setting off the fire alarms. And like, dudes are on the stage and they're like, alright, well, is this show over? The building burning? I don't know what we gotta do. Everything okay? I still tell jokes? You know? Like, the fuck? And that shit's funny as fuck. But like those random ass fucking situations, like I don't know, I fucking love those. That's what I love about comedy, and the craziness of it. Like, just start dropping names. Like Trey Tussin is fucking dope when it comes to like riffing on the fucking spot. Like 100%, great at it. And Jeff Joe,
yeah.
Opposite but fucking equally as fucking like killer with it, because he like fast and slow. You know what I mean? Like talking about like speed and cadence delivery of jokes.
Yeah, Trey only has one speed.
One speed. It's fucking 100 miles an hour and it's coming at you.
It's going for it. I do
Joe's
love
a little bit more relaxed.
I do love that Jeff can just like get it quick, but then also slow it down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one thing I hate is like when you're going 100 miles an hour, the crowd is going with you, but they're gonna be tired at the end.
Oh, fuck
So
yeah.
if you slow it down just a little bit to get them to catch up, and then hit them again, boom, 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 slow it down.
Yeah, yeah.
Boom, 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 slow it down. It's like it feels
like a
boss,
race.
like a race.
You are the pace car.
Yeah.
And you're setting the pace for everybody else.
Basically.
You know what I'm saying? You can speed up and slow down, but they have to keep the pace with you, and they're never gonna pass you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're always ahead of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. I like that.
Fucking, it's legit.
But like when I'm on stage, sometimes it feels like a boxing match too.
Oh fuck yeah, 100%.
Like I just throw out jokes that don't hit. Boom, boom. You know, left, right, uppercut. Then when I finally get that laugh, I'm like, boom.
Overhand, just fucking.
You try everything, especially because
throwing elbows and shit.
one of the things like I've gotten really good at is digging out of like bad holes. But that's from bombing so much. It's just being good, knowing when you're bombing, and being able to assess the situation and saying something that will hit everybody all at the same time and get a big pop.
Yeah.
And then sometimes
I'm still nervous about that shit, but
I mean,
me personally.
It's repetition. It's repetition usually. Don't get used to bombing, but get used to being in that situation and getting out.
Yeah.
That's what I'd say. Cause like
my joke about bombing does pretty good, and it helps me get out of bombing.
It's a good thing I do. Yeah.
It's funny, but it works.
There's some jokes like that you have all the time that you just have in your back pocket, and it's like, oh, it's not going good. Let me just talk about it. Boom, big laugh. Okay, you're still with me.
All right, yeah,
you know,
reset.
Yeah, exactly. Then you can go back to your jokes, but that's why I love comedy so much. Like some people say it's not an art form, but I think it really is.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I think it's an art form in and of itself, and everybody has their own different type of art because it's subjective. Just because something that I think isn't funny doesn't mean that somebody else wouldn't either.
True.
You know?
Just like fine art.
Yeah, you find
some people can enjoy it
something.
close up. Some of us gotta enjoy it from
afar.
2 rooms over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Or
Crowd
500 yards. Yeah, I get it.
Some beer goggles on. Oh, I see what you're talking about there. I kind of like it. I don't know.
But this is how it is.